Hello everyone and welcome back to the Blijdorp Zoo Tour! I'm joined by Eben.
Whoop whoop!
Whoop, whoop. Wait, this isn't a zoo!
No, this is not a zoo.
This is a tram station, but it's named after the zoo because it's the zoo's tram station. Today we are going to the old entrance of the zoo, the one that I usually arrived at before I had a car.
Okay, this is super cool.
Yes, so that tram station is completely themed after the zoo. We got some signs leading up to the zoo. We've got some tiles on the floor directing you towards the zoo. This is only for the tram station. For some reason, the central train station doesn't have
I can see why you like
this.
it. Okay.
And this was last summer when they had just opened the Red Panda enclosure, so there was some extra advertising about the Red Pandas. But yeah, we're following these tiles through here. Just, taking in some city inspiration for your city zoos that you may or may not be building. But this is the actual reason that we're here, because as part of the opening of the Red Panda enclosure, they put down some Red Panda traffic lights.
Oh my god.
The actual coolest thing I've ever seen. I legit, I took the tram just so that I could see.
Of course you did.
Traffic lights.
You're so extra when it comes to Red Pandas. It's insane.
I mean, just look at it. It's so cool.
Oh, these things are gonna show up in Reggie at one point.
Are we ever gonna build a city for Reggie though?
True. Yeah, but this is really cool. This is the kind of stuff that people like us, as you said, would really build in our zoos. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people already making cities.
God, was that a pun on that sign?
I think so.
Oh, I love it.
No, it was more like a little rhyme.
Okay.
But there's plenty of people already making cities around their zoos, or not entire cities. Well, some of us are, but
looking at you, Haribo.
Haribo, but what do you think about PS Vision, who hasn't even started his zoo yet?
Hey, he has animals now, so that's cool.
True. But yeah, so there's just some things that you can take inspiration from, like how does the zoo actually integrate into the city around it. But enough city, let's actually get back to some zoos. So here we are at the old entrance of Blijdorp.
And it's still functional. You can still... Oh, okay.
Yep, you can still enter through here. So if you want, you can enter through here and leave for the other side. It's kind of just whatever you want.
It is showing its age. Like
definitely.
It doesn't look like dilapidated or anything, but the design clearly stems from a different point in time.
Yeah, it's also not as grand. Well, this part is. This is freaking beautiful looking, but yeah, the actual entrance itself
to
the left of it is not as glamorous or incredible. But yeah, it's definitely nice that it is still here.
That font. Wow. Hey, Ricey, if you're watching this, I got a challenge for you.
I mean, also the fact that it's you can tell it's neon, it would probably light up at night, which I've never seen it do, but
incredible.
But yeah, we're swapping seasons so much this episode.
Yes, I was gonna say, weren't you? I thought in previous footage you were walking around in shorts, and now there's snow.
Well, the snow was there in April, so it was April last year. But
was there
anyway,
a heat wave in April last year?
Well, first there was snow. Anyway, so over there we can see the Winkel van Sinkel. Which is Sinkel's shop, which is a really cute little house where you can get some refreshments, some little meals. This is the main entrance square, which has recently been renovated, making it a lot more ecologically friendly. And
wow, this looks really cool.
Yeah, the zoo is constantly innovating and renovating as well, and one of these big renovations is this building, which used to be the Predator building, but now is one big Gelada enclosure. So we're going to explore that today. So we're going to enter this cave
Oh,
which
I
has
love it
some
already.
beautiful rockwork. I'm not a huge fan of how the rockwork cuts off immediately at the floor and the ceiling, but other than that, it looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And through here we have a little view into the habitat itself through this like mesh. It does not register very well on cameras, as you can tell,
No.
but in person it works just fine. And
Yeah, on
you get
camera it doesn't work at all, buddy.
shush, you can kind of see through it, especially from a distance. It's just when the camera focuses on it, and it
I
goes
love how
wrong.
you went for every window.
Oh
You
yeah, no,
can't
of
see
course
anything.
we gotta show all of them. See, the fact that you're old and blind does make
Oh yeah,
the case.
let's spin this on me. Yeah, but
But
no,
yeah,
this
what's
is
really
really
nice
cool.
is that the cave does end up in the indoor holding as well. So
Oh,
here we've
sweet.
got the indoor holding for the Gelada,
Oh.
and we can see some of them in here. They can go in and out as they please.
I love that. Are those windows or are those just lights?
At the top, I think those are probably windows. They look pretty bright. And I think on the other side, yeah, down there, you can see there's a little hatch that goes to the other side. I think there's a more private backstage holding for them.
Really cool.
But yeah, this is the Predator building. This used to house like lions, tigers, both big cats, small cats, all sorts of stuff. But now it's just completely been renovated. And over here we have, yeah.
I'm also a big fan, and you went over it quite quickly with your camera, but the fact that the painting of the wall goes into the sign as well, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a bunch of interactive education over here.
Ooh.
You can clearly see which answers are the correct ones, because they're the ones that are completely washed out already. But it's about guessing emotion, so you have to guess which emotion that Gelada is making. These signs are true or false, like you get a little fact and you have to be like, oh, is that true or false? I'm not a huge fan of these personally, because people not interacting with the signs don't, like they might misinterpret it and be like, oh, hey, these are some facts that I can read. But then they will learn the wrong thing. So, yeah, not my favorite, but it's pretty neat still.
Yeah, I think the idea of it is nice, but yeah.
Especially
the general laziness of people.
Exactly, and there's more signs like that at Blijdorp. A lot of true false things. There's also like, I think we'll get to it when we
this is
get.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Do they also? Is the tan here like the shape of the building outside?
Ooh, I'm not exactly sure, but this is my favorite of the signs.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember this. You told me.
Which of these butts is a Gelada butt? And you have to choose the answer with your butt by sitting on the bench. I think it's the most clever thing that someone's ever come up with.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it.
That's pretty brilliant.
The company behind those signs is called Peardrops, and they actually make a bunch of educational signs, zoo maps, not just zoo stuff as well, but also other things. But yeah,
That's
I
really
think
cool.
Amersfoort, Blijdorp, Beekseberg, all the Libema zoos, like they're all collaborating with Peardrops for their education. It's super cool.
Okay.
But yeah, going around here, we have the Victoria Serre that I referenced for St. Reginald at one time.
Oh yeah.
We have the.
I'm starting to see a pattern here in Blijdorp, and I don't know if it's a thing or not, but round shapes, circles, it seems like a motif throughout the entire zoo.
Yeah, especially here in the older park.
Yeah.
There is a lot. So the special thing about the old part of Blijdorp, oh, by the way, this was an old red panda enclosure, but now it's just a little garden. It's actually like the water collection area for this entire plaza. And here we have the Gelada enclosure. But yeah, the entire old zoo of Blijdorp is actually a really special thing. In the year of 1938, the zoo moved from its then current location to a new location, which is where we are now. And the entire zoo was designed by one person, and that is pretty much a one-of-a-kind
Oh.
thing. And this person, Siebold van Ravestein, was a huge fan of symmetry, round shapes, and everything that you can see here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Blijdorp is a zoo that used to have a tower where you could see the symmetry from above.
Even you're such a bad actor.
No. I actually didn't know. I actually forgot again that it was Blijdorp.
We talked about this like a month ago.
Yes, and I had busy weeks, okay?
But yeah, there actually used to be a huge tower at the back of the Riviera Hall where you could actually stand and enjoy the symmetry, because the entire zoo is symmetrical. There's like a line going from not the entrance itself, but a little to the left of the entrance. You can start a line right through this Predator building, right through the Riviera Hall, and everything on that line is like mirrored on the other side of it. Things like fountains, habitats, paths. There's so freaking much stuff, and it's super, super cool.
I'll say it. It's bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Over here, we have a rock garden. Very cool. Looks a little bit less impressive in the winter, as with everything. It looks like there's also supposed to be a little waterfall or a stream there, but it's not on at the moment. But yeah, this used to be a wolf habitat. It's no longer here. It's now being converted to a kind of wildlife garden. Just
oh yeah, like Blankendal has basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a bee valley, as it's called over here.
Oh.
And you can see there's little signs about all the native species of bees and other insects that you can find here.
I think I'm honestly of the opinion that every zoo should do this. Should have like at least one area in the zoo that represents local wildlife.
Yeah,
I love this. Yeah, this is
it's super
really
super
cool.
nice, and there's a ton of education about what you can do in your garden to also help local wildlife, and just I think it's really 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 awesome. And yeah, it became a whole area that you can walk around. It does not help the fact that this part of the zoo does seem a little empty, a little dull. All there is really is the Gelada habitat, a reindeer habitat, and a wallaby habitat. But it's nice. It's nice to have a little bit of a more empty area.
Yeah, you also need that in zoos.
Yep. So over here we have the Uyana Kid Jungle, which is a huge playground, but we'll see more of that when we go through the Africa area in its entirety. So let's take the nice peaceful stroll past the bee garden and just finish up the I mean, it's technically still the Europe area, but it's only a reindeer habitat at this point. So over here is a little classroom, which is also the starting point of guided tours. So when I did my guided tour, I also had to come over here to get started on it. There is a little backstage area over there, and there is this huge bee hotel.
Oh my.
Absolutely amazing. And something I noticed which was pretty cool was that there's this little tripod over here, which I'm guessing is for research or something. I'm not sure.
Probably. I'm gonna assume it's not someone who forgot it there.
It's probably recording something. But yeah, of course we gotta take a little peek over here.
Of course you do.
It's always the episodes that Eben is in that these things happen.
If you go to a zoo with him in real life, sometimes he disappears, and if you turn around, he's leaning over fences trying to get a view of backstage.
Yeah. But yeah, over here, I really like this as well. There's just these signs about native fauna, but also flora. And the signs have little insect hotels integrated into them, which I think is just the absolute cutest thing. And yeah, this is all elements, I want to say, of the old wolf habitat.
Okay, as much as I'm like, show local wildlife, I would trim nettles. That's
This
not a thing that you want to have with children around.
I was probably here on the wrong day. It probably gets trimmed
Yeah.
quite frequently. I mean,
But on the other hand, nettles are apparently very good for
these kind of size.
butterflies. Yeah, so. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome. That's something you need to do in Key Park too, as well.
Yeah, that would be really cool. And yeah, and over here we have the reindeer enclosure. So a really nice forested kind of enclosure, and you get to see some of the real classical Blijdorp fencing. This is what used to be all over the place, but yeah, not a lot anymore, from what I can tell.
I love that. Like even the gate has like this swirls and is really well designed.
Yeah.
That's not something that's get done that much anymore, which is a shame, really.
Now the building on the right over here, that actually used to be the Australia building.
Oh.
It used to have Goodfellow's tree kangaroo, which Blijdorp actually used to be the species coordinator of, which I think is pretty interesting. But yeah, none of that is there anymore, and the building is now kind of blocked off. Like they're not really doing anything with it at the moment. There's just a garden in front of it. But yeah, I think where we're standing right now is actually kind of the mirror point. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, just look at those antlers, man.
Damn.
Absolutely.
You can also get really close.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far into the... I don't know what I'm leaning over at the moment, looking at the plants at the bottom of the screen, but...
Yeah, I think this is a kind of exhibit that scares Wyatt. I mean...
But yeah, and then here is even more backstage stuff. I think if you were to enter this, you would come to the greenhouse of the zoo. Like they have their own greenhouse where they're cultivating like different plants for all of the gardens and the tropical houses and stuff like that. It's also where they're cultivating the giant river lilies before they get put.
Oh yeah, the ones that we
in
saw.
that area. Yeah. Last episode, yeah.
I love that.
So, one more view of the reindeer, which has just received some Christmas trees. And that's it.
Wow. Really cool.
Right next to that is the Australia area, technically, of the zoo.
Okay.
What's left of it, it's just a swamp wallaby walkthrough. There's also this beautiful building over here.
Wow.
And right across from that is this kangaroo where you can sit in the pouch, sort of thing.
Okay,
and
that's
there is
cool.
A viewing area for those who do not want to enter the walkabout. Which, for a while, the walkabout was closed. I think they were changing out the gates of it. I'm not exactly sure. But it recently opened again, so you can actually go into the walkabout and enjoy the swamp wallaby. I'm close. There's also some ghost gum trees over here.
Oh yeah.
Which I didn't actually know could grow in this climate. Which
I mean,
awesome.
I'm already surprised that you have a palm tree in this exhibit. That was already surprising to me.
Palm trees, yeah, I've seen them more often. I don't know if they have to do anything to protect them in the winter or something. But...
Oh wow!
But yeah,
I love how that tree or little bush or whatever grows so that it becomes a cover for the wallaby. That's awesome.
Yeah, and this is just. It's very simple, but it gets the job done, you know?
It's simple but effective, and for things like this, that's all you want, really. It's really
you
cool.
get a nice view of the wallaby. I've never really seen them get anywhere up close, but I mean, they have to cross sometime, so if you're lucky. But yeah.
The absolute massive difference between like a more laid back and smaller wallaby exhibit and then
this.
Boom. This.
Yeah, so this is what used to be either the tiger or lion habitat. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, this was absolutely phenomenal. It's, of course, by today's standards, it doesn't hold up as well for a tiger or lion habitat.
Yeah.
Also, we got some brill over here, some brill signage, which is always nice. But this habitat held up for a surprisingly long amount of time. Like for the time it was built in, like probably 1945, 1950. It was one of its kind back then, and the fact that it held up for several decades just shows how ahead of its time Siebold van Ravestein kind of was in terms of, animal displaying the animals and welfare and stuff like that. So, super awesome.
I don't think this is smaller, or if it's smaller, it's not that much smaller than Antwerp's tiger exhibits, and like they've only just started removing those. Yeah. So I really like the idea of having geladas in an old lion habitat.
And these freaking curved like frames are so freaking cool. I don't know who came up with that, but it's awesome, and it fits so well. Here's really cool. These are like some little benches with some education about them, and it's like the same on either side, so it's like mirrored as well. No matter how you're sitting on the bench, you can read the same things. But yeah, wonderful. That is it for the Gelada habitat, and that is also kind of where we're gonna wrap up this episode. Now, the next episode was going to be the Riviera Hall, but in case you didn't know, I had some issues with my hard drive. Being corrupted, and in the process I may have lost 1 or 2 files of the Riviera Hall footage, so I'm gonna have to go back to Blijdorp probably at the start of June somewhere. Oh no, what a what a pity. So yeah, I'm gonna go back at the start of June somewhere to get some new footage of the Riviera Hall. So we're gonna do that later on in the series, so next episode will be the start of the Asia area, so I hope you look forward to it, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.